All right, once again, welcome everyone. We'll go over the agenda now. We're going to start with our vision and mission statement, our aspirational goals. We'll discuss what's going on in education and training. I see Rachel did make it tonight, thought she wasn't going to be here. Also then we'll get into grassroots, we'll look at our tracking updates, and then we'll get into the legislative area with Paul. Comms team with Ken Kashuba, and then of course, and then I've got some miscellaneous things to cover with you, and then we'll do the around the horn like we normally do. So let's get going here, and we'll get to start off with our vision and mission statement. Our vision statement is still the same and will be the same for 2019. Our vision is to build a Hoosier grassroots community of citizens and legislators dedicated to the constitutional concept of self-governance. Our aspirational goals, these being goals that we may never actually achieve, but we will continue to strive to achieve them. And that's to organize and restore representative government as defined by our written constitution, restore a culture of self-governance in America, and inspire political and spiritual awakening based on the founding of our country. Mission statement. Now, this is going to be the last time you're going to see these mission statement goals. If everything goes as planned, we're going to have be able to present to you our new goals for 2019 at the December state call. So we've still been striving to fill all of our support positions as well as region captains and 70% of our district captain positions. We've also then been striving to have every district captain meet at least once with each of their legislators and present the 34 Ready strategy. And I want to say that we have really been making some good progress in this area. A number of district captains have, new district captains have stepped up and actually done this. And we're hoping, I hope, that we're going to have 3 more on the call tonight that have done this very thing. So we've been making very, very good progress in this area. The last goal of the mission statement goal has been to achieve 30,000 supporters in the state of Indiana. I got big news for you tonight on that one. I'm anxious to get to it. So I'll hold off until we get to that tracking report. Okay, so once again, these are all going to change for 2019, and we've got some, I think, some very exciting things planned for the year 2019. So I'll leave that there until the December call. Okay, let's get into education and training. Rachel, did I see you made it on tonight?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm actually in my car, but...
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
Well, you want me to go over this, or do you want to, you can't see it, can you?
I have the new district captains, the Module 2 complete. I have it written down.
Okay, all right. You want to go ahead and do that then?
Yeah, I don't know if it matches yours. Okay, so I have 3 new district captains listed here. I have Lowell Foster, who actually started his training today.
Okay.
Actually, he's in Gary's region, so Gary sat in on training today, and everything went great. He's actually working as a co-district captain, I believe, with Ed Paraguay, and he was actually involved. He was a social media warrior for us before, so he's not really brand new to us, but he's certainly new to starting a district captain position, which is exciting.
Correct.
So we're happy to have him on board. And then Victoria Mooring, he's in District 85. Victoria Mooring, District 50. think, is another Gary district captain, and she is actually going to be starting training tomorrow. So I haven't actually met her yet in person. And then we have Fred Dennison, who's in District 41. He should be scheduling his training. I've been in touch with him by the end of this week or next week. So that's who I have as new district captains. I don't know if I missed anybody.
No, that's what I got here.
Okay, great. And then we have one district captain that's has completed Module 2. That's Jim Caldwell, who is House District 65. And then we have, I don't know if he's on, Jim, on the call tonight or not. And then Ron Wiley actually was initially going to be on here as having completed Session 2, but he sped through and he actually finished his training. So Ron Wiley's actually completed training. He's not on tonight because he had to work.
Well, I've got him as completing Module 2 on here. We'll bring him on as completing the training in December. So
yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. No problem. Yeah. So that's what I have.
Okay. Okay. Well, I've got one more category on here that you don't know about.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
But I've got the category on here of super volunteers, and I put this on here to bring this to everyone's attention that we maintain an Indiana leaders list. It's on a Google Drive, and I'll send the link out to everyone again on this. And when you get this link, please save it and or bookmark the page. But this is a listing of all the leaders in the state of Indiana. Okay, somebody's got some real echo there.
Dale, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I believe that's the same list that we have on Slack now.
Pardon me?
Is that the same list as the one we have on Slack?
Well, I think you're probably right, it is.
Yeah, it's probably easier for people to access it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the Leaders List channel on Slack.
Okay. Okay, I don't know. Someone's got, someone needs to be muted. Okay, can you hear me all right? Okay, we had
it was
you can take yourself off camera, please. Okay, but what I wanted to point out on this list, okay, somebody is still creating an echo here, and I don't know where it is.
It looks to be Jim.
It's who? Jim?
Yeah.
Okay, please mute yourself. We're getting an echo here. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Okay, let me get back to this leaders list. On this list, if you scroll down the list, there's a group of 14 people that are considered super volunteers. And these are individuals that have actually applied to be a volunteer. So I want to call this to your attention that these are people that you as district captains, especially if there's any of these that are in your district or your region, and I've indicated that information, that these are people that are available to you to help you. So feel free, like I said, especially if there's a person in your district or region, but these people will be available, should be available to you regardless of where you're located, if you're needing some help to make calls or whatever it might be. So I just wanted to call that to your attention. They're on that listing. They're under the category of super volunteers. Okay? All right. let's move on then to grassroots. And yes, we are still looking for positions that we want to fill. District captains, event coordinator, coalition director. Well, you can see the list here. We're still looking to fill these positions, and we will continue to look to fill these positions in 2019. Region captains, again, we are looking for region captains. Now, we're going to have some exciting news on that. Rachel's working very hard at developing the region captain training program. I think we're going to be ready to kick this off in January. So if you're a district captain now and you're interested in becoming a region captain, please let me know. I've heard from some of you already, but please let me know if you're interested in this. Now, please be aware that this region captain position, there's a little different skill set involved here. You're more of a manager, so it's important that you understand that. But we'll talk about that. So you let me know if you're interested in stepping up to a region captain. Okay, first tracking report, and this is as you notice, this is our districts by region. For the state. The red, the ones colored in red, of course, are the districts where we have district captains in place. We're up to 23 now, so far from the 70, which was our objective. And I think when you hear us talk about the goals for 2019, I think you're going to see us take a little different approach to this. But anyway, right now we have 23 district captains in place across the state. I want to mention down here that this line here under mission goals, the red line, I've indicated here that by region, if this region was to achieve the 70% goal that we had set, this would be the number of district captains they would have, that each region would have. And then the second line, highlighted in red, indicates the number of district captains remaining to be filled in order to reach the 70% goal. And you can see in just about every region, there's quite a few here. But I wanted to highlight Region 3. And that's where Gary Harbaugh is the region captain. Gary has only one more district captain position to fill and he will have achieved the 70% goal for his region. So I want to give a shout out to Gary for the job that he's done there in Region 3. So good job, Gary, and hopefully we'll be filling many more of these in the in the next year in 2019. All right, and of course, region captains, we only have one right now. And that's Gary, but we're looking to fill many more of these region captain positions in 2019. Anybody have any questions about this or anything that we've talked about so far? Feel free to speak up and feel free to ask a question. Okay. Here's the one I want to talk to you about that I was excited to bring to your attention. This is our petition growth tracking summary. Now, I just want to tell you that we have all year long, we've been using the total number of petition signers in our state. We've been using the LMS total. Leadership management tool. Legislator management tool, I should say. But the district dashboard has always reflected a higher number. And the reason for that is that there we have a number of petition signers that have not been allocated or assigned to a particular district for various reasons. Could be a bad address, although that's something that we're trying to work at. And Tim Heidenreich has been doing a lot of work on this over the many months. But they are in this number, the district dashboard number, which is 29,718. So I'm going to use that number, okay? As far as reaching our 30,000 goal, that means that in the remaining months of December, we need to get 282 petition signers, and we will hit 30,000. Now, I think that's wonderful. Just for your information, when we started this tracking, this is back when David Waters and I became co-state directors, and it's been a little over a year ago now. But when we started this, we had in Indiana, we had about 15,000 petition signers. So we set as a goal here by the end of this year to hit 30,000. And we're going to do this. We're going to make this. We only need 282. In the month of November, we had 398 petition signers. So I think this is very doable. And that, by the way, that translates into an annual growth rate of 40%. Now, folks, that's an outstanding growth rate. We should be very, very proud of that. And that's we're doing a good job. We're doing a good job bringing people in. We just need to get more people into leadership roles, but we're doing a good job bringing people in. So I hope to be able in December to report to you that we have achieved the goal of 30,000. So, and then, of course, we'll announce what our goal will be for 2019. And you can figure it's going to be higher. That's the way it always is. Okay, anybody have any questions on that? Anybody want to have any questions or comments? Okay, all right. Well, let's go on then to the legislative area. Paul, are you on here?
Yes, I'm on. I'm riding in a car, so I hope you can hear me.
We can. You're loud and clear.
And let me stress, I'm riding, not driving.
Good, good.
But I just wanted to ask you, Dale, if you could lead us through this and just ask Larry, Kim, and Dallas to share their experiences.
I will. The first thing I had on here, Paul, was your Free to Be Free podcast. Are you? Have you got a new one coming out soon or anything?
I am working on one. I've kind of put it on hold to work on the strategic planning recently, but I hope within a week or two to have another episode out focusing on the Supreme Court and the amending of the Constitution that they do.
Okay, great. All right, well, Paul wanted to have 3 district captains on tonight that have met with their legislators or have met again with their legislators and presented the 34 Ready plan. So I'm going to just call on them one at a time here. Kim, are you on there then?
I am. Good evening, everybody.
Hi. Go ahead.
I'll just kind of just ramble, and then you can ask questions if you want, or
Okay.
if there's something you want me to kind of key in on. I had first met with my House rep. Do you want me to kind of go back to that and talk about just my interactions with them about 34 Ready?
Okay.
Is that right?
Yes.
I met with my House rep, who was she was in the legislature at the time that we passed our resolution. And she was very familiar with it and very supportive. And when I first sat down with her as the new district captain, she was at first just a little concerned. She wondered if we had any reason to doubt her support. And I assured her that no, that wasn't the case at all, that I was just meeting with her to get to know her and to just establish an open line of communication with her as we went through some of our upcoming activities with the legislature about selecting delegates and so forth. And then I met with my senator, Aaron Freeman, who was not in the legislature at the time that we passed the resolution. But he said that he is strongly supportive of what we're doing, and he's going to send letters out to people who sign the petition to assure them that he is supportive of Convention of States. And I have since talked to both he and the House rep about hosting a joint town hall with them sometime very soon during the legislative session, where people we think may have a good turnout for people to talk to them about pending legislation and so forth. So we're working on that currently.
Okay, great.
So I just kind of try to be there for them as a resource and any excuse, I think, to stay in touch and work with them on something is a good one. And I am working with my House rep on there's a question she has about clinical research, and I recently retired from a pharmaceutical company, so I'm working with her on that.
Okay. Kim, this having a joint town hall meeting with the legislator, that sounds very exciting.
Yeah, and if you do it doing things with the election is difficult because they can't really use any of their office staff or any of their house budget or their office budget for anything. But if you do something during the session, then their house staff their staff can help get word out through postcards and mailings and so forth about that they will help pay for. So that's always a good thing.
Great. Paul, are you on still, Paul?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah, did you have any other questions for Kim?
No questions, but I think Kim is a great example here of self-governance in that she's going beyond Convention of States to, as she mentioned, help her legislator with some pharmaceutical issues where Kim has expertise, and that she's helping them with a town hall on issues way beyond Convention of States, and that's just a perfect example of self-governance.
All right,
good.
Great.
Thanks for the feedback.
Good job, Kim. Good job.
Thanks.
Okay, Larry, are you on tonight, Larry? I didn't see you. Larry Hudson in District 24. Larry, are you with us tonight? Okay. Dallas, are you here? Well, I don't see him either. No, I don't see him on the list. Well, we had two other district captains, Larry Hudson and Dallas Halcomb. And I know. I'll tell you, just in talking to these two district captains, I know Larry was very, very nervous about doing this and presenting the 34 Ready plan. But I know Larry had a great experience with the legislator, and it went very, very well. And he was really pumped up over that. So good deal. And Dallas. Now, Paul, you've talked with Dallas, right?
Yes, I have. We tried to have him report last month, but he was having some trouble with his microphone.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is another situation where the legislature actually came to him. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I think Dallas, didn't he tell us he was in the barn splitting wood or something, and the legislator was meeting with him there, and
they had a conversation at his wood pile, and shared a cup of coffee and had a great conversation.
All right. So the meeting doesn't have to be in the legislator's office, right? It can be anywhere. So anyway, very good job to all three of you, and keep up the good work. And hopefully you'll be a good inspiration to other district captains that have yet to do this.
If that isn't Americana, then I don't know what is.
Pardon me?
If that isn't Americana, then I don't know what is.
There you go, George.
Talking politics at the wood pile.
All right. Okay, Paul, you want to talk a bit about the strategic planning meeting? I've got the slide here showing some pictures of our second meeting.
What was that? About a week and a half ago, we had our second strategic planning meeting down in Indianapolis at Jack's Church. We really appreciate the church opening their doors to us. They have a great facility, as you can see. So this was our second meeting. We had one about a month before. The first meeting, we really got at some high-level issues and really kind of focused in on the important things for 2019. And then in this past session, we got into much more detail outlining specific goals and strategies that we want to use, and just reviewed some material on effective grassroots organizing and making sure that we're applying some of those principles. And I think you're all going to see the fruits of this meeting next month on this call when Dale shares the specific goals that we came up with. We had most of the leadership participate. There were two district captains, Larry Wee and Kimberly Webb, who participated. So we got input from all levels of the organization, and we're looking forward just to sharing what we've done here and getting some more feedback from the rest of you so we can tweak it.
All right. Good deal. All right. Anything else, Paul?
No, that's all I've got.
All right. Okay, thank you. All right, let's, anybody have any questions for Paul before I move on here? Forgot to ask. Okay. All right, let's go on to the comms team. Ken, I know you were on. You still on?
I sure
am.
No, Ken Kashuba. I'm sorry.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Ken.
Sounded like Kim, didn't it?
We're gonna have to call you Kimmy or something, Ken.
A lot of people do.
Well, they called me Kenny when I was a kid, but we'll stay away from that for now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So Ken works, and Kimmy will work for these broadcasts, I guess.
Well, we might think of another name to call you. We'll let you know.
Me or Kim?
You.
There are a lot of names for me, I'm sure.
All right, we won't go down that road.
We'll go down that road for sure, yeah.
Okay. What you got, Kenny?
Okay, Dale. We are as we are moving into a couple of the areas that have been sitting stale for a while. We have a couple of our social media areas, our Twitter and our Instagram, thanks to Jerry, we have moved forward with a new Twitter handle and application. So we are looking to move the Twitter along. Right now, Jerry is the prime point for Twitter, but we will be adding John. Waiting for some information from Jerry yet. We got to get John a password, but we'll be adding John, and maybe there's another writer out there that we might have doing some Twitter work as well. And that's coming up. I was hoping to have a couple things available for tonight, but I kind of got my whole schedule this week got thrown off a little bit. I ended up I've become a week sit-in babysitter for my granddaughter. My granddaughter is usually watched by the other grandfather in this family, and he's come down with pneumonia. So I have a little one-year-old running around the house, so I have not been able to complete a few of the things I was looking to have ready for tonight.
Okay.
Not through Friday, but we're hoping that by next Monday I'll have things for YouTube and this camera's secondary.
Ken, your volume is fading out.
Fading? Okay, I've had a little internet problems here. Let me see if I can boost that for you. Is that any better?
Oh, yeah, much better, much better.
Okay. So we hope to have a few of those things ready for show for next week. They'll probably be available on the comms team meeting before our next state meeting. But the Instagram is, as many people are maybe aware, the Instagram is a little bit more pictorial. It's a lot of memes and things like that. So we're getting some creativity going in that area for Instagram, and those two areas, obviously, at this point, once we start to get them up and running, we will be feeding between those and our Facebook page to continue to expand our social media services. So we hope to instill more social media warriors that like to work with Twitter. So if any of you people know of people that are heavy Twitter users, I'm not a big Twitter user, but the Instagram, I've had some work with that, so I think we'll be able to fill in fairly well with those two programs once we start to get a few more people on.
Okay.
As far as COS Indiana Live, I know Dale has continued to increase his viewership and skills, and I think at this point, what do we have now, Dale? Are we on week 4?
Well, yeah, I got a little information here. I got another slide here on COS Indiana Live. Our next broadcast is December 10th, and we've done actually 3 broadcasts so far, and we're reaching 552 people with 16 likes and 4 shares. Now, you know, those aren't numbers that are going to be that impressive, but I knew I figured this was going to take time to build up, so we had to start somewhere. So, like I said, on average, we've been reaching about 552 people.
That's not bad considering where you started, Dale, on week 1.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it does take some time.
Yeah.
And I think as we get some more of these social media, you know, the Twitter and the Instagrams going, I think we'll be able to reach out and reach some more people with that as well. So I think it'll continue to grow. I think it's going to work, and I think you're doing a great job, Dale.
Well, thank you. And again, this is all the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook page, the Indiana Live. These are all designed to bring people into Convention of States in Indiana and to grow our grassroots and keep not only bring new people in, but keep people that are already part of our movement up to date on things. So we're moving along. We're really moving along, and I think I think 2019 it's all gonna pay off for us. But you had also Ken, you were gonna speak a little bit about the YouTube channel.
The YouTube channel, yes, that's I've got some new graphics that I've been working on for Dale's YouTube. We've been able to make that connection. I'm going to be getting into that process of actually getting into those videos that are already there and adding an intro and some graphics for Dale's YouTube channel so that we can make that uniform and a little more consistent that way as far as openings, intros, and just making it more of a unified program. So, as I said, I'm hoping by next week that we'll have some of those started. Want to start with the latest video that he had on there. I know you had some, Dale, that go back a ways, but
yeah.
And then going forward, we'll have some graphics and regular intros that we can use to kick off some new YouTube channel.
And we're going to have links to all of Paul's podcasts.
Links to the podcast, yep. So we can continue to do that. And the last thing I really had was I'm hoping to hear from our one of our content writers, Dawn Marie, working on some new stuff, so that we're hoping to add that to our state page. And I know I'm still listening in. I've got the SCCS meeting that happened last night. Garrett has got some information on some branding and some logos and some things. So hopefully I'll have some new material that the national team has been working on that we can instill in some of our materials as well. So.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for Ken?
Is John Ackerman on tonight?
Don't know if he. Yeah, he's on.
Okay. John, I should have a password for you as soon as I get hear from Jerry, and we'll get you started on Twitter.
Cool. Great.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ken. All right. Rodney, are you ready to go here?
I am.
Okay. First thing I wanted to say here is I asked Rodney to come on and comment on a couple of these. Well, all three of the items that I have listed here. But first of all, the first two items appeared in the weekly roundup. And that is basically kind of a weekly Convention of States newsletter that is sent out by Garrett Humbertson. And I know it comes via email, and I think it's on Slack also, I'm pretty sure. And this goes to state leaders and district captains. So please let me know if you're not getting this, because it's got some good information in it, very good information in it, and it's kind of it's an update on different things going on in our movement. So it's an important publication for you to see. So let me know if you're not getting this. All right. Okay. Two things appeared in the last issue of this weekly roundup: the new branding policy and the state email template. So, Rodney, I'd like for you to go ahead and comment on those, if you would, please.
Yeah, so, well, on the weekly roundup, just if you have a Gmail account, I don't know about others, but in mine, by default, I have a promotions tab. I got primary and social and primary and promotions. For whatever reason, the weekly roundup in mine always goes into the promotions emails. So check there your spam and other things if you're not seeing it. Just a quick note.
Okay.
Yeah, so the overarching thing that has happened recently is Convention of States has trademarked basically the name Convention of States and also our logo. And that's what's driving the branding policy. You can get to that branding policy by going to conventionofstates.com/branding. and it'll pull up the page that gives you the do's and the don'ts on the logo and the name. So if you're creating flyers, banners, pages, emails, anything that you're wanting to put Convention of States or our logo on, you need to check that branding page and make sure you're complying with the policy. The reason they're kind of controlling this is the law is basically if we're not if we're letting everybody just do whatever they want to do with our logo or create Facebook pages, different things like that, and we have rogue people out there or opposition or other things going on, it's hard to enforce our policy if we're letting everybody everywhere just do whatever they want with our logo and our name. So that's the reason behind this kind of. So any questions, Dale, or anybody on the branding policy before I go on?
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, there's a lot of detail on that branding policy, and it's real explicit. It's real simple to read on the do's and the don'ts. It's got graphics there, and do and don't and all that. So very plain and simple. Kyle Key, I think his name is on there. His name is also on the weekly roundup where this was posted on there as a point of contact if you have questions about that.
Right. Okay.
And so state email templates in the Citizen Builder email tool. It's if you go to your dashboard, it's messaging, I think, is the name of the option on your dashboard, and the drop down in there has the email blast tool and the text tool, notifications and alerts.
Right.
Yeah, so in the email tool, they've added templates in there, and this also kind of flows up with the branding policy. They created a blank template for every state in the country that already has your state logo for Convention of States at the top and your edit field, and then down at the bottom it's got your standard donate buttons and the legal stuff at the bottom for opting out of emails and things like that. So every state has that out there. So if you're creating an email in Citizen Builder, you need to use those templates. They're going to be adding more to those. I think Garrett kind of indicated in the weekly roundup, we're going to be moving away from MailChimp, and for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about there, we've had to use MailChimp for basically statewide email blasts and even local ones up until they developed this email tool in Citizen Builder. And I didn't think we were actually going to get rid of MailChimp, but it's not too far away we're going to do that. Right now you're limited to, the state leaders are limited to emailing 500 recipients. District captains are limited to, of course, emailing only the people in their district, regardless of whether it's 500 or not. So just on that, they're going to be adding many more features to this Citizen Builder email tool. But the biggest thing they did recently was those email templates in there. You'll see it's just like in the follow-up tool. If you're in there, you click on template field and it drops down and you select the template that you need there.
Now, Rodney, can someone send out an email blast and not use the template?
Right now, I am the one that reviews and actually hits the deliver button on the email. So when you create an email, you need to hit the button that puts it in ready for review for me. That's the best place for me to see it. Some people accidentally leave them in draft. So when I see an email that doesn't use that template, I'm probably going to go back to that person and say, could you please copy the email and put it in the template?
I would think that we would want to use the template every time. We should make that a habit to use, I think.
Yeah, I'm not going to send one that doesn't use the template that's formatted for everybody.
That's active now, right?
Right, yeah.
I don't know if there's anyone on the call tonight that has used that. let me know here. I'd just like to know now that when a person creates the email. Tim, have you used it?
Yeah, I tested it the other day when I read that weekly email that came out, and it
Okay.
worked fine. It worked fine in Citizen Builder for us.
Now, do you see the template when you're creating the email? Do you see it?
Yeah, you go into that messaging like Rodney said, and you just figure out who you're going to send the message to. You draft one, and the template actually is just the header and the footer.
All right.
The header that says Indiana and the footer that says how you donate money.
Okay. All right. All right. Good. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac, did I see where you've used it?
Yes, I have. I sent out an email blast last month, and then I actually sent one out. I sent one for review earlier today. However, I wasn't at that time aware of the template.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and deny that one, and then I'll redo it after we get done with this call, using the template.
All right. All right. All right. Cool. Good. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, Rodney, I wanted you to talk about. Can you come back on, Rodney? You still there?
I am.
Okay. I wanted to talk to you about. I consider it a new policy about the districts being able to create Facebook pages. So you want to go ahead and comment on that, please?
Yeah, there's been a lot of confusion over the years about districts creating Facebook pages, even region captains and that. But with this new branding policy, you can create a district Facebook page, but the rule is, just like I said earlier, you can't use the logo on the Facebook page, and you can't use the words Convention of States on the Facebook page. It's basically what you're doing is you're creating a personal Facebook page that you could call something like, you guys call your house districts, right? Not assembly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you could call it like COS HD 20 or something like that if it's District 20. And you're going to be directing people there. It's not really going to be a searchable page like people search on Convention of States and pops up. So basically, you can create one, just leave off the logo and don't use Convention of States on your page in the picture at the top, anywhere in the web address or anything like that.
Okay. All right. Well, I think the district captains that have expressed an interest to me in doing this is for communication purposes, to communicate with people in their district, supporters as well as new people. But so I think I know that there are going to be some district captains excited to hear about this. So
if they're using it in that way, probably the best way to do that, I think, is, and some people in some states have done this, is create a Facebook group where it's not all public, if they're just using it to communicate with each other.
All right.
Any way you want to do it's fine.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Rodney on anything that we covered here? Speak up now.
I'm always available.
Okay.
I'm on your Slack, so chat with me if you have any questions.
All right, good, Rodney. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and great work there with the district report, and Gary and all the others working so hard to do that, and the number of petition signers. That's awesome stuff.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, the last segment here, the last thing I wanted to do was I just wanted to recognize some people that since our last state call that I just consider it, being involved in self-governance. So I just wanted to quickly identify these people and give them a chance to briefly say something if they would like. I'm going to start with our District Captain Thomas Schultz in District 56 did conduct a town hall meeting since our last state call. He actually did this at the end of October. But Thomas, are you on tonight?
Yes, I am.
You were. I saw you before. There you are. Well, Thomas, I know how this meeting went, but I want you to go ahead and talk.
I just want everybody to look at that chair. You see that person sitting in that chair? There's a table behind, over to your left, where the large screen and my notebook is sitting with all my presentation, and a whole group of chairs around that table, and all filled with those, except for one. I did have someone walk through the door around 10:30, and that was George.
George Ward. Well, Thomas, I know you didn't have anybody attend your meeting, but I wanted you to comment on it because we've all been there. And if you keep at this, it will work. But like I said, we have all been there. We have all had town hall meetings where nobody showed up. And I just want to recognize you for doing this. And I'm glad to hear that you have a good sense of humor about it.
I advertised on the front window of the library where this is. This is upstairs on the second floor. Advertised down in the front door with my little sign, just like this one here.
Yeah.
Okay. But of course, they'd put a disclaimer on the corner of the poster. Say they actually have to put this disclaimer. So okay. I guess my next I guess I have to add a disclaimer.
Well, you stick with it, buddy. Thank you very much for stepping out there, and you hang in there, and it'll get better. It'll get better.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Dale, it's Gary. Can you hear
yeah.
me? I just was able to call in. I'm not on the computer, but I'm here.
Okay. Well, Gary, you still there?
Yep.
Well, Gary, one of the other pictures that I have on this slide is of you and your group that met on the Gun and Knife Show. You want to talk about that?
Sure. So that is a meeting. All the guys that you see there around the table, we all participated in a Gun and Knife Show a month or so in the past, and we're planning on doing another one in January, and I think probably one in March. And found a pretty receptive audience. This gun show didn't attract nearly as many people as probably the ones in January and March, but it gave us kind of a warm-up. We've got an extra banner that we will be putting up, and we talked about getting everybody in front of the table to engage with people, and you know how important that is, to just get out there and make sure that we're talking to people, not waiting for people to come to us.
Okay.
And so yeah, we want to hit that again, and we feel like it gave us some good contact with people, and gives some opportunity to really get face to face with people and talk about things.
Okay, good deal. Well, thank you, you and the other gentleman there at the table. Thank you for your work. Okay, John, I know you were on earlier. Are you still on with us tonight? John Ackerman? Oh, John? Can't hear you, John. You got yourself muted, John. Okay. Well, what I wanted to show here was that John was invited to speak at the Madison County Tea Party meeting here recently, and he did that and appeared and made a presentation to the Tea Party group there. So I want to thank John for stepping up and making that presentation. The other one that I wanted to have a picture of here is with Maya Phillips and Lucy Meckler. Maya, are you on? Can you be on with us tonight?
Hey, Dale, this is Paul. Maya's not on tonight, but I can fill you in on what happened there if you like.
Okay.
So Maya and I went up to Hillsdale College for a college visit for Maya, and it was actually Dale's idea. When I mentioned to Dale we were planning this, he said, well, wait a minute, Lucy Meckler attends there. You ought to try and get a hold of her and see if you can connect. And we were able to do that, and after Maya's campus visit, we were able to take Lucy out to a nice dinner, and Maya and her really connected on things for COS issues.
All right, great. I just thought that was so great that she was able to connect with Lucy Meckler while she was up there, and I hope Maya is able to attend there when she's ready to go, so she can carry on the work that Lucy is starting there for Convention of States. So that's excellent work. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for the work that you've been doing this week or this past month. And so let's quickly, we're about to wrap up in time here, but I wanted to go around the horn real quick here to see if anyone has any comments that they would like to make. Before we do that, I want to call your attention to the fact that our December call, we're going to move it up a week because of Christmas. Our next December state call will be December 19th at 8 p.m. So because of Christmas, we're moving it up 1 week, December 19th. Okay, let's go around the horn here. Kim, you got anything else you wanted to say?
Nope.
No,
Thanks,
just
Dale.
wanted to wish everyone a happy holiday.
Okay, and Tim?
No, thanks. Thanks, Dale.
Thank you. Okay, I don't know who this is. Paul, you got anything else?
No, I don't.
Okay. Diane, you still on with us?
Yes, I've been listening and really enjoying the call. So proud of the work you guys are doing. And, Indiana not only led the way in passing the resolution, but look at all the structure and strategy you're creating that you'll be able to share with other states as they come on board. So what a gift that is to them. I also got to meet Larry Hudson, district captain, at a meeting, just coincidentally,
That's right.
Related to COS.
He told me about that, yes.
And it was at a meeting where his state legislator was there, and it was nice to see that they already knew each other, and it's just being carried on. So that was really neat to meet him in person. But great job, everybody.
Yeah, Larry told me that when he was meeting with his legislator, he said, you need to meet Diane Gomez. And I don't, of course, Larry being new, I'm not sure he knew who you were at that, but I filled him in as to who you were. But I thought that was very funny. So, yeah. All right. Diane, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I appreciate your presence.
Oh, I always enjoy it.
Thank you. All right. George, you got anything to say? George, you always have something to say.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm going to mute myself today, and I just really want to thank everybody also for the hard work. Nice to see all the stuff going on. New district captains, you just got to dive in and get your feet wet. Yeah, mistakes are going to be made, but they're learning opportunities. If you're not making mistakes, then you're not growing. So don't let that worry you. You know, there's always another day, another meeting, whatever. But Merry Christmas to all, happy holidays, and have a blessed time with your families and friends. Good night.
All right, thanks, George. Isaac, you got anything else to say?
No, not in particular.
Well, thanks, Isaac, for being on tonight. Appreciate it. Okay, Jim Jerness, now is the time to speak. Anything you wanted to say tonight?
No, just trying to get back on track from a bunch of stuff happening for the last couple of months. So
yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, John, are you on now, John?
Yeah, I'm here, Dale.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Good call. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, Ken, anything? Anything more, Ken? Ken Kashuba, anything more?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to the new DCs and welcome. And it's good to have growth going on. And again, another good meeting, Dale. Thanks.
Good. All right, Ken. Susan, are you on with us now? This is Susan out of Tennessee.
Yeah, Susan had to move to the Louisiana call at 8 o'clock. So.
All right. Thomas, you still got there? You got anything else you wanted to say?
Oh, sure. I'll say thanks. Well, anyway, let's get back to that little. I had email communications with Mr. Kyle Key, the media specialist, or whatever you want to call him. And I made a mistake when I first communicated with him. You got to be very specific with this man, or he won't understand what you're trying to say. I usually think people are trying to read my mind, so.
Okay. And this is you're talking about the marketing guy.
Yes.
That did the branding policy thing.
Yes. We talked about the little, I have got the little WordPress.com. I got a little site, several sites over on that system. And he says, just as long as people are invited to view it, like our petition signers and stuff, then it's okay. But when he first saw it, he just said, no, you can't use this. But it's okay as it sits, as long as I just changed the, what's the word for it, their logo. Okay. Since I was using the logo that I created a few months back before they started this.
Oh, okay. So you need to use their logo now.
Their logo.
Yeah.
Which is okay. That's just. I don't even think this one down here is kosher. Oh, the one on the bottom of your screen.
Oh, really?
You might want to check that one out.
Well, I might. Yeah, maybe I better do that. I hadn't thought about that. All right, thanks. Okay, Thomas, thank you. Okay, anybody else? Did I miss anyone? All right. Well, folks, that's it for tonight. I want to thank you for tuning in, and we did record it, so I'll put the recording on the general Slack channel. So once again, thank you very much, and stay in touch, and we'll be talking to you again in December 19th. Good night, everyone.
Night.